Hello, hello, hello. I don't know how good the is. Not at home, and this is a location that correct. So I thought I'd give it a try anyway because it's been a since I've been live. Since Apollo came in the mail. Hey. If anybody comes in. I'm just sitting in this hotel room. Hello. Anybody, anywhere? Anybody, any? Ellen, hello. How are you doing? Hope you are well. Yawning out of boredom. Stopping in before I lay down for a nap. I am worn out being a shuttle. Hard to get my urine gets back and forth to school. Oh, here be rabbit. Hello. What am I up to? Just chilling in a hotel room. I figure out what to do with myself so I'm not bored out of my head. That's what I'm up to. So I thought, hey, I'll pop in. How are you? And I apologize in advance if the connection seems weird, if it's cutting in and out, or because this internet sucks. Takes me 3 hours of my day getting used. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's why I'm in a hotel room visiting my husband. I go back home tomorrow, but he doesn't. The reason why I came on this trip, I got here Sunday, and I leave tomorrow. But the reason why is because he's gonna he leaves here tomorrow too, but he goes another location for like another week and a half. I'm just going home. But during the day while he's working and I'm chilling in here by myself, I'm a little bit bored. So figured I would come in and visit. And yesterday I couldn't even drive anywhere because I had given, he held on to my car key at one point because we drove separate. And instead of holding on to my key, he put it on his key ring and then he forgot to give it back to me. So yesterday all day, I was like, I can't even go anywhere because I didn't have my key. They do have complimentary breakfast now. They didn't the last few times there was a few times that I was here because he stays at this hotel a lot where they were not doing the complimentary breakfasts because of COVID. Last couple of times that I was here, they have been finally doing it. So the coffee's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, Carolyn, I'm not homeless. Nope. I still have my house with all my babies in it. My son is at the house taking care of everybody for me. Here's my coffee. Look at that. It's in a big old measuring cup. Rather than I brought that down and just filled it up. And I brought my own creamer because I don't like their creamer. But the internet does suck around here because this is a small town. We're kind of plopped in the middle of nowhere. Fields around, and yeah, the internet stinks. And yes, I'm using the internet stinks for towers, but still stinks. No, he's not. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. But I still have unresolved anger about the stealing and stuff like that because it's come back to haunt me again. The place where I brought my other snakes to keep them safe, it turns out there was a mite problem in the house. Somebody brought their snakes onto for a while they were getting ready to move and stuff like that. Turns out one of those snakes had mites, and it spread to the rest of his snakes. And the homeowner was like, I really hope because he's got a bigger collection of snakes, and he was like, oh yes, he stole money and one of my snakes. But so my remaining snakes I brought to my friend's house, not knowing other snakes they were housing had mites. And then most recently, I mean, my snakes weren't there very long in comparison, but most recently he discovered mites on some of his snakes. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a treat, like a isolation bin. I got smaller bins, put them on paper towel, stuff like that to see if my snakes have a problem. Seems fine. I didn't see any signs of any mites. My corn snake Boo, I haven't seen any problem. So they're at home with my son, along with the other animals. Kina and Lucille are here with me in the hotel because Kina especially is riddled with mites. I'm so upset. So upset. When I had put them, the only reason why I was like, I should double check just to make sure that it just so happens that day, both Lucille and Kina were soaking in their water dish. Tiny, tiny, tiny little parasitic bugs. Tiny, tiny little bugs. And they're going to, a lot of the time, act like fleas. They're going to suck their blood. And without treatment can kill the snakes. But they both were soaking in their water. So that was a red flag to me. Sometimes snakes will soak in their water just because. So it's not a definite indication that there's a problem. But same morning, since I saw both of them the same morning soaking in their water dishes simultaneously, same time, I was like, that's not good. So I got smaller bins. I dampened paper towel, laid it in there, put them inside. And then the next day I looked and I could see the mites crawling all over Kina. I wanted to cry. Crawling all over her. And that's why they soaked in the water, because it's more, because these mites can wedge themselves underneath their scales, and that's how they get to suck their blood. So they get wedged under the scales and stuff. But she has so many that they weren't even all wedged. They were walking on her. I could see them walking on her. Antibiotics isn't necessarily like, I can do a home treatment with them. I've killed a lot of them already. But I have soaked them both, because you can drown mites. So I've soaked them both for, like, they've been soaking since I got here Monday or Sunday. I put about that much water in their tubs, and they just sit in the water. I, give them warm water so they don't get cold. Eventually I have to change out the water because it will get cold. But I've seen that I have drowned a butt ton. Don't think that Lucille has as big a problem, if any. I haven't seen any crawling on her. If they're wedged under her scales, I can't see them. I think she might have one wedged up near her neck, but I can't get that out. And when I hold her, I don't get mites crawling on me. When I hold Kina, however, originally, before I started soaking her, I would hold her and then I'd have little tiny black spots. Just, she has them so bad, they're coming off on me. And so soaking her, no, he's not. Maybe to visit, but I don't even trust him for that. No, he hasn't said anything to him. And I actually made a comment on Sunday, no, or Saturday, maybe it was Sunday, before we left, that it is my stepson that I blame for this problem. And he was angry because I blamed him. You can't blame him for everything. And I'm like, if it was, yes, I realized that the mites were there, and it's the fault of the person who brought in their infected snake. But my snakes who never would have been in that house if it wasn't for my stepson. Therefore, that's why I blame him. Because if I didn't feel like my snakes weren't safe in that house because he stole one of them, I never would have removed them from my house to bring them over there. They never would have got mites. That's why. Hey, Mr. J. But so poor Kina is just riddled with them. And I've been changing their water, cleaning out their tubs every morning and every evening. And this morning when I did it, there's still dead little floating bodies in the water. So I know that I'm still killing some off of her. It doesn't kill eggs per se, but if I soak enough, they'll drown. The eggs will hatch and drown right away, and hopefully they won't have enough time to lay. They're dead. So every time I change the water, I'm seeing bodies in Kina's water. But now when I'm holding her, if I get any mites on me, they're dead. They just come off of her skin, off of her scales. So nothing is moving. So I think I'm making progress, but it's not fun. And I'm really hoping, because you can actually get a medication treatment for them that will kill the eggs as well. And I'm really crossing my fingers and praying that Apollo, and because they are too small to treat them with the medication. So snakes have to be at least 200 grams to be treated safely with this medication. Keena and Lucille are heavy enough. They're 400 and 500 grams or 500 and 600 grams. Apollo and Boo aren't anywhere close to 200 grams. They're not even over 100 grams. They're not even close to 100 grams. So I wouldn't be able to treat them with anything that, because it would be too potent, too toxic. So I would have to do a natural, the kind of what I'm doing with them now in the hotel, just drowning these mites. And then when I brought them here, I had Lucille in a snake bag, I had Keena in a pillowcase, and then I put them in a duffel bag or whatever, like a really flimsy duffel bag thing. Hey, Derby Jack, how are you doing? But when I got here into the hotel, I knew being in the bag and being in the pillowcase, there's going to be mites in there too. So once I got them out of those and into their bins of water and stuff, I completely soaked the pillowcase, the snake bag, the duffel bag, completely soaked them underwater overnight to kill whatever mites were in there. So, yes, it's a little bit stressful. A little bit stressful. Hopefully. And then, of course, the person whose house my snakes were at, he feels terrible. He wants to help me with treatment and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not mad at you. It's not your fault. You're a victim too. He's got 22 snakes that he has to treat. I have 4. So, and even though Apollo and Boo, I haven't seen any signs of mites on them, I'm treating them anyway, just because mites can travel. So got sick by the spikers. Not sure I understand. How's your son doing? Still staying with his cousin? Yes, he is. Right now he's at my house though, taking care of my animals, since I'm here. But what was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, and there is a PetSmart right behind the hotel. At least 2 of my snakes at this point have mites. And it is because they were when I had to move them from my house to a friend's because of my stepson. It turned out that they were fostering someone else's snakes that ended up having mites. And apparently my snakes. And I'm not mad at the person who lives there because it's not his fault. He's just as much a victim. He's got more snakes to treat than I have. I'm mad at my stepson because my snakes would have never been in that situation to get mites if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't have felt the need to move them to that house if it wasn't for him. So yeah, I have to treat them for mites now. It can kill them. So I'm at a hotel right now. I brought the 2 that have mites I brought with me, and I've been continuously soaking them, changing out their water, soaking them. We're drowning a lot of mites. We're killing a lot of mites. So Chinchilla's doing good. He's doing good. But anyway, I was saying there's a PetSmart right outside the window. You can see it from the window. I walked over there because I was going to see if they had any mite spray for snakes. They don't. I was like, really? But then I was looking at the reptile wall. You know, they've got a couple ball pythons in there. They've got some hermit crabs. They've got some beardies, some geckos, and they had a Pac-Man frog. And the Pac-Man frog was only $15. And I blame boredom, and I got the frog. So, you want to see him? I got the frog. He's a really pretty frog. He's a Pac-Man frog. Let me get. They even gave me the critter keeper. See him? He's in there. I would take him out, but he's not a fan of being held, and he's dirty. But he's a baby. When he's full grown, he'll pretty much take up residence in my entire hand. But right now, he's like big. So husband knows. I was like, he's only $50 at where I worked. He would have been $30. So he's like half the price. And I got the critter keeper. I didn't expect to get the critter keeper too, but they gave me the critter keeper with him. So I was like, critter keeper and a frog for $15. Can't beat that. Yeah, I've had Pac-Man frogs before. The last one that I had was bigger, and I did let a friend have him. She was like obsessed with Pac-Man frogs. She wanted out an albino, and that's what I had. So I let her have him. I see pictures of him every now and again. He's doing well with her. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, so now I got another one. Yeah, Pac-Man frog. They are you got to be careful when you pick them up. You don't want to pick them up too much. They don't like it. But you have to have either wet hands or wear gloves because the oils from your skin can really cause irritation with them. They also have teeth, and they're very aggressive eaters. They're very food driven, and they will bite, and it will hurt. So when I pick him up keeping my fingers away from his mouth. They are very lazy. They don't need very big enclosures because they will just basically lay in wait for their food to cross their path, and then they'll lunge and grab it. No new guinea pigs. Nope. Right now, the only fuzzy animals I have are my 2 dogs, 2 cats, bunny, chinchilla, ferret, and my rats. Those are all my fuzzies, all my fuzzy animals, and then I've got my bird. And then my reptiles and my arachnids and my cockroaches and stuff. I have not had sugar gliders. I've wanted sugar gliders. I do not have any yet. Maybe one day, but probably after I don't have anything else. Because right now I'm focusing on not getting any more fuzzy animals, nothing furry. They take a lot more work. I've been more focused on reptiles and spiders and stuff. I do have 5. 1, 2, 3. I have 5 spiders now. 5 spiders. I have my pink toe, which is officially a male. He recently had molted, and I retrieved it, gave it to a friend who knows how to sex spiders. And luckily, his reproductive area was intact, and it is a male. Sad part about that is males don't live as long. He's probably got about another 1.5 years before he passes away. Yes, I have a ferret. When did I get her? A couple months ago. Love her to death. And so my pink toe, and I recently, on my last day of work, the last day that I was there, I used my discount one more time, and I got a striped knee tarantula. He's not a baby. He's probably a little bit bigger than my pink toe. I don't know. So I'm hoping that when he molts, it'll be intact enough to find out if it's a male or a female. And then I have my jumping spider, and I have 2 baby tarantulas that I got from the same person who sexed my pink toe. I have a baby bird eater and a baby red rump. And then obviously my Beardy, my leopard gecko, and my snakes. And then I have Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I have dubia cockroaches. I also, the guy that has the spiders also has death head cockroaches that eventually he's going to give me some once he establishes that colony. And then I'm looking to get some more isopods. I had zebra isopods, and then the colony crashed, and I was very sad. But I want to order, can't remember what kind they were. I'm going to look. And these are all animals that are much easier to take care of than anything furry. Just got to make sure they have enough heat, humidity, eat on occasion, because they don't have to eat every day, which is the nice part. Hello, lists. Yeah, when they don't have to eat every day, like snakes eat once a week, therefore they poop once a week. You know, the most time-consuming part right now is treating them for mites. If I was your husband, there would be no way you would have spiders. He's okay with it. He's like, just don't let them get out. Just don't let them get out. And I'm like, that's fine. These are, is there no unscientific name for them? Granulatum armadillidium isopods. So they're going to look like this. They're really cool looking. He doesn't mind the reptiles. He doesn't mind the spiders because they don't make a mess. They don't make noise. There's always a chance of escape, but none of my spiders have ever escaped. I've had snakes escape, but, you know, they're not going to hurt you. I've had 3 snakes escape. Boo escaped, found her after 5 months. Kina escaped, found her in 20 minutes, 2 feet from her enclosure. And then Snickers escaped a couple of months ago, still have yet to find her. The spiders, none of them have escaped. When I get home, among other things, I need to clean out my pink toe enclosure. So I'm going to have to manage to get him out so that I can give his whole home a cleaning and then put him back in. But yeah. And then I've got, like I said, I've got my cockroaches, and he's okay with those too. He just doesn't want them to get loose, but none of the cockroaches have ever gotten loose. Who has a what? And tries to kill him. Oh, kangaroos. But I got a zit going on, man. But yeah, so right now the snakes, Lucille and Kina, are in tubs over here, soaking in some water. When I change out their water, it's usually gotten cold, so I put water in the bathroom sink, nice warm water in the bathroom sink, and they'll like chill in there, like And then I clean out their tubs and I give them fresh water. This is Lucille yesterday, sitting in the bathroom sink in some nice warm water. Here's the frog. It's a better shot of the frog. When I got him back to the hotel, I cleaned him off. There he is. That's my new frog. He's so cool looking. Anyway. And basically, this is Lucille and Kina in their bins. Their bins of water. Kill those mites. On the urban ranch rescue, the guy's kangaroo escaped. It was so funny watching him chasing. I bet. Yes, I like ostrich a lot more. Oh, is that like emus? Emus are similar to ostrich. Yeah, they are pretty nice. And then of course I got my baby Apollo that's at home. Hopefully he won't get mites. I'm going to be keeping Boo and Apollo far away from the other two. This is Apollo. He literally was born in the middle of July, July 15th, I believe. And then Boo is at home as well. Way more evil than emus. I'll have to look that up. Let's see. See, I've never heard of them. Large, distantly related to the ostrich and emu. They do not make good pets. They are wild animals, and humans have not bred them for a long enough period of time to ensure a docile and friendly animal. Some people keep them on farms, but you must fully understand how to care for these birds if you want them in agriculture. They're cool looking. Look at that little face. Look at that face. Yes, snakes. I never used to be a snake person, seriously. And I love my snakes. Let's see. I had, here is, yeah, like, here's Lucille's little face in the sink this morning. She was pretty grumpy on Sunday. She's preparing to shed, so her eyes were kind of hazy and blue on Sunday. And therefore she couldn't see very well. And I picked her up and she hissed at me. I'm like, oh, somebody's grumpy. I mean, she didn't do anything to me, but somebody was grumpy. This is Kina. And if you could see, I can zoom in here. You see like the little specks in there? Those are drowned mites. So she definitely has a mite problem going on that I need to take care of. So, yeah, cute little faces. I love my girls. And then, of course, my little Apollo baby. And my snakes are friendly. Like, my snakes are actually pretty friendly. I mean, yeah, she hissed at me, but she was grumpy, but she didn't try and bite me. The only snake that has bitten me is Boo, and that's been a long time ago. It was like around the time that I first got her. And now she's a year old and she's mellowed out some. She hasn't bitten me again. She musked on my son on Sunday. That was pretty funny. He was like, "What was that?" It was like liquid came out her butt. And I'm like, I think she musked. And if you smell it, it's. I was like, yeah, she musked on you. She's like, put me down. Yeah, they are very tiny. Yep. Basically fleas for snakes. Yep. And they're species specific, so I at least don't have to worry about them going to any of my other animals. They're going to stick with reptiles. So I just have to keep my other reptiles clear of them. So what a bummer that they have them. I was really, really hoping that I would be able to steer clear of it, but no dice. Yes, ball pythons are a lot more laid back than, like, I have met some corn snakes that are very laid back, but they're not very laid back as babies. And then ball pythons, they can still be nervous. They are very laid back. They're slower moving. Any aggression that they show is all out of being scared. It's not because they're mad. It's not because they're mean. It's literally because they're scared. So as long as you give them a reason to not be scared, you won't have any problem with them. None of my ball pythons have ever even tried to. In fact, Lucille will go right up to my face. Like, her face will go right up here and she'll flick her tongue out and I can feel her tongue on my face. Like, you know, very, very sweet. They're very, very sweet. Other snakes, on the other hand, I was holding somebody's, not tree boa, red tail boa, and I was just holding it, wasn't doing it. All of a sudden, it just kind of struck out at me. Didn't bite me, but struck out at me and scared the crap out of me. I'm like, okay, I'm done holding this one. Oh, that's not good. Probably because people, when they don't want an animal anymore, they release them. They just release them, which irritates me. I think I have a mosquito bite on my foot. It's itchy. Itchy. Well, because when I walked over to PetSmart yesterday, I walked through the grass and I was wearing sandals. So I think that's why my foot's itchy now. I have not. I have not held one of those. I have touched an anaconda. I have touched an anaconda. I have seen anacondas are gorgeous snakes. Very aggressive, but gorgeous snakes. A person who also has a mite problem, where my snakes were at, he knows somebody who has had him go over and take care of his reptiles while he's on vacation or away for work or whatever. And he's got 3 anacondas. His biggest anaconda is like 8 feet. I think 8 feet. Something like that. Big, beefy snake, but gorgeous. I have a picture somewhere. Because I went over there once with him. He didn't want to go by himself. He was just like, just in case I get bit and, there's someone there that could call 911. Yeah, I would not hold a black mamba. Not happening. Let's see here. I know somewhere In all my videos and crap, I have got a picture / video of a black mamba. Not a black mamba, an anaconda. They're very, very pretty. Oh, anacondas, where are you? I will find you. Doop, doop, doo. I think I'm getting closer. Just got to scroll back. It was right before I had a cold when I went over there. It was right before I came down with shingles. So I think I'm getting close. Here we are. So in there is his biggest anaconda. They're very lazy snakes, so they don't need a huge enclosure. There's his head. And the idea here is to get him out. He's just on newspaper in his little shallow tank. And the idea is to get him out, change his water, change his paper, and then put him back in. Oh, there we go. Now the big guy. That is an anaconda, guys. So he gets put in that tub and you secure it with the tape. Clean it all out. And then put him back. So. Why am I adorable? What did I do? But thank you. Isn't it huge? And that's not even full grown. That's not even a full grown anaconda yet. And his other ones are smaller. But what you needed to see was the pattern on the snake. Like, that really did not do it justice. I gotta scroll back again because they have gorgeous patterns. Very pretty snakes. But you wouldn't want to be bitten by one of those because they have fangs. See, ball pythons and corn snakes do not have fangs. So when they bite, it just feels like a little bit of angry Velcro. You don't want to be bitten by a snake with fangs. You just don't. Tree boas have fangs. Anacondas have fangs. And this guy has anacondas and tree boas. All right, I'm scrolling again because I know I have an actual picture, not just the video, but like an actual picture. Here. See if you can see the pattern on that snake. Look at that. Such a pretty snake. Let's see. There's his head over there. So, so pretty. Yeah, that's exactly it. Get the fancy colors from the mixing and breeding. Now, see, the person I got my spiders from, I think he has a death wish because I have docile tarantulas. All the ones I got are considered docile. They'll tolerate a little bit more. The chances of them biting you are a lot less. He's got, not to mention, even if they did bite, they have a very low potency of venom. Um, the guy that I got my spiders from, he has not so docile tarantulas that if they got out and bit you, could put you in the hospital or kill you because they have not only they are more angry, they are more potent. And I'm like, why do you have that? He said, because it's cool. I'm like, it's not going to be cool if it kills you. What am I going to do with the rest of my day? I do not know. Yesterday, my husband didn't get done with work until like 7 o'clock. So I was sitting in this room all freaking day with nothing to do except for walking over to PetSmart and buying myself a frog. um, he said he shouldn't be as late today, hopefully by dinner, but I have until dinner to chill and figure out what to do with myself. But that's why I also came on because I'm like, I got to do something with myself. Like, I'm just sitting here on the bed watching TV. Like, gets old after a little while. I got up this morning. I cleaned out the snakes. I went downstairs for breakfast, came back up. Just sitting here. But tomorrow I'm going back home, and then I got this nice big metal shelf, like a metal utility shelf, heavy duty. It'll hold some weight. And I'm reorganizing my animal room. Now, my animal room with my fuzzy animals, they're going to be separate. I have an AC unit in there to help keep them cooler, especially because the chinchilla and the rabbit, they need, you know, cooler temperatures. And then I have another spare room that my son used to live in before he moved out. That room does not have an AC in it anymore. And that's where I'm going to set up this big shelf. And all of my animals that are reptiles, spiders, cockroaches, any of those snakes, beardy, leopard gecko, spiders, cockroaches, hermit crabs are all going to be in there on that shelf. Because they'll have the warmer temperatures. It'll be good for keeping their humidity and all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be perfect. So I'll have basically 2 animal rooms. I'll have the fuzzy room. I'll have the reptile room because they need drastically different temperatures. So organize them a little bit. I do. Yesterday I ate by myself just because he was so late. But when he gets home for around dinner or right before dinner, he just changes, has a shower, whatever, and then we'll go out for dinner. It's not cold yet. It's still, it hasn't been long since I got this coffee, so it's not cold yet. It's not hot either. It's kind of warm. I don't like super hot coffee anyway, because what fun is it if you're going to burn your tongue or your lip or whatever, the roof of your mouth? So It's warm. It was hot when I could still feel it through the container. So not that I mind the cold when it's cold. Like sometimes I'll literally put it in the fridge purposely to make it cold. Exactly. There's no room for you in the inn. We're full up. And that was pretty much when he first came. We're like, we don't have a room for you, because my son was still living at the house. He was in that room. The other room had my animals in it. There was a bed in there. It since came out, but I was like, you're going to be sleeping on the couch. We don't have a room. Now neither of those rooms have beds. So when my son stays over there, like he's there now, while I'm here, he's sleeping on the couch, taking care of the animals, sleeping on the couch. And he's putting my shelf together today. So yay. He was like, how far apart do you want the shelves? They're adjustable. But he was like, I don't know if they're adjustable once you've put it together. So I was like, well, they need to be able to have the width to be able to fit the width and then some of 10 gallon and 20 gallon tanks. So he measured the tanks and that, and set my shelves up appropriate spaces. So I won't have to do that when I get home. Yeah, I'll have to go for a walk. All righty. Hope you have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. You have your own version of the arc. Yeah. My husband still on occasion says I need to charge admission. And I was like, the nice thing about having all these different animals and some that are unconventional that not a lot of people have is that I can educate people on them. Like it's a conversation piece. Like, wow, you've got cockroaches. Wow, you've got isopods. Wow, you've got spiders. People would. And they learn something completely new and interesting about them. Like I never would have, like when I watch my spiders, I'm like, dude, they have personalities. The snakes, they have personalities. The cockroaches have personalities. Like it's eye-opening. I don't see them as just little tiny pests anymore, The rats have personality. Like your eyes are opened to the world around you when you learn about things that you didn't know about before. So I kind of like being able to educate on that. My allergies are acting up. Feels like someone's squeezing my face. Ugh. Washington State Jags fan. Hello. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We were just talking unconventional animals. I have some fuzzy pets, but I also have some not fuzzy pets. We were just talking about snakes and spiders and that kind of thing. Working. Fun. I am bored out of my head in a hotel room, so that's why I'm here. And I don't think they have enough people working in this hotel. Like they're not doing housekeeping unless you request it. Last we heard they had 2 housekeepers, and I don't even know if that's true anymore, because before they had people coming through doing housekeeping. Now they don't, unless you request it. I have a feeling they're only cleaning rooms that have been vacated to prepare for the next guests, and that's it. I don't think they're doing anything in between because they just don't have the manpower. But yep, I will be going home tomorrow. It's about a 4-hour drive. So I'll be leaving in the morning after I eat breakfast. And I'm also an hour behind what I'm normally. I'm on Central Time now. Going home to Eastern Time, so I'll lose an hour. But I'll be going home tomorrow and then starting to kind of organize my animals and stuff. That's the plan. And continuing to treat my poor little snakes. Anyway, I think I will let you guys go. And I'll try, maybe I'll go for a walk. I don't think the temperature is, I get spiders in this cab. I used to want to do them harm, but yeah. And unless I think it's going to be a spider that's going to hurt me, I'm not bothered by them anymore. Spiders used to creep me out, but cockroaches used to creep me out. But now I have pet cockroaches and I'll hold them. And I have 5 spiders. I have hissing cockroaches. I'm not as creeped out by bugs as I used to be. I don't get housekeeping when I'm in the room. I might stop somebody and go, hey, we need more toilet paper. Hey, we need more towels. But other than that, I don't let housekeeping into my room when I'm not here or even when I am here. I don't trust it. Like, I don't want something to go missing. So I just don't deal with it. But you just don't know. Like, yeah, they're employees, but are they honest employees? Like, what's going to go missing? Some people leave. I used to clean rooms, and I would go in to do change the trash, dust a little bit or whatever. And there's laptops in there and, stuff like you're not supposed to touch, common sense, but who says that some people don't touch or take, I mean, I would like to think that they would know who took what, especially because when I worked, we had a list of rooms that we were to do. So they would be able to, if someone said, hey, my laptop is missing from my room, they should be able to look at the list and go, oh, well, so-and-so had these list of rooms. So it was probably that housekeeper. So maybe that cuts down on the stealing. I don't know. But I just don't, no reason for them to come in here and do it. Like, I can empty my own trash. I'm not that lazy. Like, when the trash gets full, I'll take it out and I'll bring it outside and I'll throw it in a bigger trash can. Like, I don't have a problem doing that. Keep strangers out of my personal space. Probably when I get home, I'll probably place an order for those isopods that I showed you that I want. And I think they have a key card. So yeah. Yeah, I had a key card to get into rooms. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. So I can understand why they're not doing, if they're short staffed, if they're severely short staffed and they've only got a couple of housekeepers, I can see why they're not doing the daily housekeeping and just doing the empty rooms, because it's a lot of work. Like I quit from burnout because it was just long hours and lots of physical, like I burn out. Like there were times that I was in one of the bigger rooms. It was like a double room. It had 4 beds. It had 2 bathrooms, 2 kitchens. And you have to have these rooms done within a certain amount of time. And I remember sitting on the bathroom floor, cleaning the bathroom, and I called my husband in tears. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like just, completely stressed out because there's a time constraint and you got to have so many rooms done in a certain amount of time. And the bigger the rooms, the longer it took. And just, I was exhausted and just had a breakdown. So I was like, I can't do it. I liked the job otherwise. It was burnout. We were short staffed too. Not this short staffed, but we were short staffed as well. So it was just too much. And you don't get paid near enough. Thank you. I hope they do too. I hope it doesn't take too long I know that the last time I held Kina, any of the mites that came off on my hand were dead. They weren't moving. So that's a good sign that I haven't had any moving ones on me since I started treating her. So fingers crossed that this problem goes away. But anyway, I am going to let you go. I'm going to maybe I was going to look at the weather. Weather. It is 84. That's not bad. 84 degrees. I can do it. I can walk around. There's a lot of places to walk here. So I am going to let you go, and I will talk with you guys later. Hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.